The whole time you're like, oh, sorry. Robin, you sit here on your inflated ball and you judge your guests.
It's like, let me compliment you and then let me slap you.
And you're also matching with the furniture. Get a chair.
I'd go in with this Lebanese sandwich like this long.
I have to learn so many different things. I have to be so unconventional. Can we get a white guy? Girl, I don't really care.
That's scary.
I know a lot of artists are like, I'm so proud of my work. I'm like, ugh, to be unapologetically who you are.
Okay, why did you get into comedy then? Today's guest is Dubai's OG comedian. Honestly, I think being a stand-up comedian is one of the toughest jobs out there. I'm really interested to understand why he got into this profession and how he monetized his name, Ali El Saeed. This podcast is all about you.
Okay.
The brand of you, right? So we talk about Ali as a name,
Okay.
how you created visibility, and how you made money from it. Right? I want you to time travel with me, right?
Let's do it.
I want you to go back to the first time you realized you were funny.
I still don't think I'm funny.
What?
Yeah. It's the strangest thing. But I still don't. Do you watch football at all?
Football, soccer?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Soccer.
Soccer, yes.
Yes. It is. I was watching Holland
Okay.
score 2 past Brazil.
Last night. The game last night.
The game
Okay.
last night. And just his everybody in the world is freaking out. An entire nation, right? They keep talking about how their king, an older gentleman, is incredibly into football. He's like a huge football fan. He's probably freaking out. And Holland is there like, yeah. They gave me the ball and I just
Skilled.
kicked it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm supposed to do. And it went in the net. That's 9 times out of 10 is what it's supposed to do. Right? So a lot of times comedy feels mechanical to me like that. So I'm not in this, like, I'll be surprised after the show.
So you're a bit numb. So you never, so I want to go back to the question though. I want to go back to the question. There was a
Yeah.
moment where you're like, I'm a funny guy.
No,
Growing up, nothing. There was
nothing. I was the opposite growing up. My entire family is funnier than me. My sister has a 2-year-old. His name is Hamed, and I was just talking about him. He is hilarious. That was not me. No one's ever described me as funny.
What do they describe you as?
Oh, anger issues.
Anger issues.
They used to I'm the youngest of 5, and they used to hand me fruits.
Okay.
So I can squish them as a baby. This is pre-toddler, just baby years. They just hand me the thing and they would laugh. They'd be like, oh, give them watermelon. And I just go,
I was going to say which fruit? Watermelon.
a watermelon was their favorite. That was their weapon of choice.
The weapon of choice is watermelon. Okay, so you never thought you were funny growing up, but there was a
Yeah.
point where you. Well, okay. Why did you get into comedy then? Because for me, it's the business of making people laugh,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I love making people feel better than
Interesting.
they were before they came into my life. I feel like every interaction is an opportunity to make you feel slightly better. Like if your day was crap and you got to me, I want to help you change that a little bit.
So when we're talking about building a personal brand, I
Yeah.
always talk about leaning into your superpower. All right. What is your strength? And like push the pedal. So you would have had a superpower. What was your superpower as a child then?
I think it's listening
Okay.
is my superpower. I have an innate interest in human beings.
Interesting.
And it's when like people say, let's meet and share a laugh or share whatever. For me, it's more of a let's share our souls for a second. Doesn't matter what that looks like in this interaction, right? As long as we're present and genuine in that moment.
Okay.
So I love to listen. And my favorite comedian through whom I understood what stand-up was, because I wasn't exposed to it at a
who's
younger
that?
age. That's Chris Tucker.
Okay.
Sorry, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Bottled that. My favorite comedian, Christopher Nolan. Just any Chris. Just Chris Jenner. My favorite. No, it's Chris Rock. He said this, and I heard this early on. I believe before I even started comedy. He said, to be a good comedian, you have to learn how to shut the bleep up. And if you're talking, then you're not absorbing. And in a way, and I teach comedy, so I tell this to my students all the time, there is an element of journalism when it comes to comedy.
But you said you don't like writing.
I don't have the, it's not that I don't like it,
Yeah.
I lack the discipline
To do it. Okay.
to do it. I teach it very well. I have so many tricks that I teach people, and it works perfectly for them. But I'm incapable of that kind of discipline.
But your journalism is, and the listening. So listening is your superpower.
That's my
I have
superpower.
never looked at comedy from that perspective whatsoever.
Yeah.
There was a recent interest in it because of Kevin Hart's show, right?
Right.
And it's performing. So for me, anyone that can get on stage, be impromptu, is such a skill in life because that creates confidence.
Yeah.
Just being able to read the room and have a conversation, but then to entertain is a whole different layer. There's a lot of pressure around that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that because you're able to listen, that creates you more successful in what you're doing?
Absolutely, because you're constantly absorbing life. And there's this observation that I listen, I eavesdrop. I spend a lot of time by myself as well. I'm the guy at the cafe by himself, and I'm listening to 8 conversations at the same time. I'm the guy who's gonna put together a story. I could be wrong. I'll see a couple. I was out last night watching the game, and I saw this older couple from Africa, and I created this whole scenario around them. I was dead wrong, because the night developed for them. But that helped me understand dynamics.
So you're very observant as
Yeah,
well.
like I had a couple a couple years ago. There was an older couple at a show from Luxembourg, and I did 25 minutes on Luxembourg, and I get off stage and I'm like, why do I know about Luxembourg? I knew about their financial situation. The guy was like the head of the lottery or in Luxembourg or something, and I just knew so much. And it's because I read a lot and I listen a lot, and I think that's what informs my comedy.
And that makes you successful in what you're doing.
I guess.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
No, it's a different perspective because a lot of people see the end of the road, right? They see you on stage and they see you
Right.
performing and they say like, this guy is huge and he's made it. And you're like, there's a lot of groundwork that goes into it. For
Yeah.
someone that wants to build who they are, right?
Yeah.
What's a starting point you can tell them to do?
Just be authentic.
Explain that, because that is very difficult to break down.
Yeah.
And I know that you mentioned something about alphabet soup, which I want to get to in a
Yeah.
minute, but this authentic word is very difficult for people to really understand who they are and how they find their voice.
So my process is this when I'm working with somebody who's specifically trying to get into comedy. Number one, if we both sat together and tried to put together a list of the 10 best comedians ever, we're going to start off with a lot of like spitfire names. By the time we get to 5 or 6, we're going to struggle a little bit. And we're like, wait, does Mr. Bean count?
He does, right?
Yeah, I mean,
No?
kind of. Like if you're trying to be more specific to stand up, there are tens of thousands of comedians today, but there's like 10 great comedians, right? The reason for that is the audacity to be on stage in front of strangers. This is why this is a difficult job. I personally don't think it's a difficult job. A lot of people are like, making people laugh is hard. It really isn't, because you can make a newborn baby laugh. They don't even know why they're here. They're not even vertical yet. They're just horizontal the whole time. They're not rolling over yet. You just go and go, they go, it just happens. Making people laugh is one of the most natural interactions that you can have with another human being. Have you ever seen animals laughing? Animals laugh. right? So the tough part about this job isn't the making people laugh. It's the authenticity in terms of how are you going to be that version that you always thought you were? Since, ever since you're a toddler, you just, it's hit or miss. You try something and that upsets, mom and dad. And then you try something else. Ooh, that makes mom and dad happy. So when mom and dad are around, this is a mask. Then you go to nursery, there's that social anxiety. You try to figure out how to deal with strangers your size or older. That's another mask. And that continues into your school years, your friendships, your relationships, college, job. And you just have all these heavy masks at this point sticking up against each other. Then you get to a point where, hey, I want to be a comedian. Great, unmask. And it's layers and layers and years just to try and understand who you are at the core. You go up in front of strangers all the time and say, hey, please judge me. I'll be incredibly upset if you don't. Here are all the reasons why I'm not a good person.
That's scary.
It is the scariest part. And to me, that's authenticity, to be unapologetically who you are. There's this perfection, which is in and of itself just a ruse. It doesn't exist. Perfection is the biggest lie.
That's so beautiful, Ali. Honestly, while you were taking me through that journey of unraveling, well, first masking yourself and then unraveling yourself.
Yeah.
That's really tough because everyone's trying to not perform anymore. Everyone's
Yeah.
trying to step away from the performance world. And you live in a performance world where you're actually yourself.
Yeah. It takes time. And it honestly, it's the courage, the audacity to do that.
Talk about time, because everyone wants to rush to get the results. How long have you been working on this for?
I've been doing comedy for 18 years. I'm still unmasking. I don't think this is going to end. I just did a show last week called Unperfect. And even through that, I'm like, ooh, how am I going to be perceived if I say that? How am I? It's just this consistent. Every artist in general, but comedians, I think specifically, we are our hardest critics. I hate me way more than you can.
Oh, I say that all the time. I'm a worse critic than anyone out there. But
Yeah.
comedy for me, like you're going into a room full of people who have expectations
Yeah.
that are all different, and
Yeah.
you have to mass please.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
That's like, you don't. That's not your perspective, because I feel like people in the online world, let's say talk about social media, it's a very similar game, right? You're trying to please mass expectations.
Yeah.
So what should we do instead?
Well, here's how I look at it. When I go on stage, the audience has no choice. They have absolutely no choice but to laugh. If you think about it, they've made every effort to laugh. They saw the ad online, they saw the post, they started contacting each other. Hey, what do you think about this? Do you guys want to go? Maybe we have dinner before or after. Do you think we should get drinks? Okay, what are you going to wear? Because I'm thinking a bit more cash, but this one's at a theater or this one's at a bar. Okay, who's driving? Should we just Uber? Should we just meet there? And this entire planning for weeks. They turn up, they sit down. Nobody's like, I hope this guy sucks. Absolutely nobody. They've paid money. They've put in so much effort. They've been planning this. They're there to laugh. They made every possible effort to be like, hey, change my day. I'm here for you to make me laugh. Now it's up to me.
And
right?
what goes on in your mind?
Nothing. This is, it in a way, it's transactional.
Yeah.
Right? So the idea for me is it's beyond comedy. What's the experience? Because my view of art is art belongs to the artist until the moment you present it to people. Then it is no longer yours. Because they're going to interpret it. They're going to internalize it. They're going to mix their background, their information, their trauma. All of that is going to come in, and they're going to create a separate version than what you did. I genuinely think Da Vinci just, you know, he did not want to make the Mona Lisa.
You
They were
don't
like,
think?
hey, we want something. He's like, I only have 3. We want 4 paintings. He's like, well, I kind of have this one. He's like, whatever, just give us that thing. But just over time, people have romanticized this thing, and it's their interpretation. This is their art. This is world art. Da Vinci's art ended many years ago, right? So when you do that, for me, it's the experience. What are you gonna leave with? And I can't control how you process it, what kind of cocktail you have inside you. But what I really want is to have an impact.
So you go inside with an intent. I want to talk about the judgment, because the judgment's a scary place.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there to be seen is a scary place, especially with all the extra touch points that we have online and now offline. Because a big part of your world is real life, right? Which is
Yeah.
amazing, and I love it, and more people need to do that.
Yeah.
But sharing that beautiful moment where you're like, everyone's coming in knowing that they're going to laugh, and you want to make an impact on their day, and you want them to leave lighter, which
Yeah.
is so nice. But during that process, it's like the scary part is the judgment to be seen.
Yeah.
How do you move past that? Like, how do you become happy with who you are and accept that every time you're in front of people who are constantly judging you?
Before I answer that, you said something I want to comment on. You said, I want people to leave lighter. I'm a bit of a cynic in a way that
You want them to leave darker.
I want them to leave happier. I'm going to make you laugh, but damn it if I don't say something
That hits.
that hits. There are things, especially to my people, there are things that I want to say. And
Your people being.
my people, the Browns, there's a lot of categories within my people. You know, Arabs, brown people, Muslims, global South. You know, there's this moment that we're living in that is incredible. And a lot of us aren't taking advantage of it because we have that psyche of we're not as good, we can't compete. You know, I watch a lot of football analysis because it really informs me about how to manage yourself and just society at large. You have, you know, generally 11 egos that you have to manage in order to gain success, right? So as a leader, as a tactician, you have to get these egos aligned in order to represent a club, an idea, or country. So I you know, football analysis just fascinates me. And we were looking at, you know, Cabo Verde, just going out there and going, I believe. And everyone's talking about the same thing. A tiny, tiny nation. Who made it tiny? Are we talking about numbers?
I was really gunning for them to win.
And they're playing, you know, they almost knocked out one of my favorite teams. And I'm just sitting there in awe, again, of that audacity to go, I'm here.
You think it's difficult for Arabs?
Absolutely. We have this mentality of there is this understanding that I'm good enough, but the belief is just not there.
Why do you think that? Look, I grew up in Australia, but my background is Lebanese.
Okay.
And we grew up countryside before we moved to the city. So it was just full of Australians, to be honest. I'd go in with this Lebanese sandwich like this long.
Right.
And I'd be so embarrassed eating it that I had to like fold it over and like pretend it was like, you know, peanut butter jelly or whatever.
Right.
I've never experienced, though, what a lot of people out here go through. And I've had a few guests that have Arabic backgrounds, and they were saying the same thing, that they feel like a bit of an outcast. It's real.
Yeah, well, we outcast ourselves in the sense that, you know, we're Latinos without the salsa. In it, you know what I mean? Have you ever seen Latinos being apologetic for their culture? You're sitting out here folding a sandwich.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you.
Right?
I was like, my
Right.
Left is so long.
You got to make the leffa smaller. It's like, hi. But that's the thing, is that we were taught politeness, which is incredible. But, it's an incredible part of our culture. However, we were never taught to what extent. At what point does it go from being polite or hospitable to being apologetic of your identity? And this is, in my mind, a catastrophe of our people, that I'm going to turn off in order for you to flourish, because that's how I was raised. That's my politeness. That's my hospitality. That's my kindness. And if my mom sees me not doing this, then I'm getting my ass whooped, right? So until what point are we going to not be as competitive, right? So it is a cultural marvel what we're able to do. When people come and interact with us, truly interact with us, my goodness.
Yeah.
They love everything from the hospitality to the shatafa.
I agree.
They're going to love everything. But at what point does my house belong to me? This is,
Heavy.
it's slightly political as well. But it's the, welcome,
true.
welcome. Now you have the country.
Yeah.
Right? At this point, this is when maybe that assertiveness is missing. Right? That competitiveness is missing. It's okay for me to compete against you and not hate you at the same time.
There's that's true. That's actually quite difficult. Not many people see that everyone can be successful. Yeah. The Arabic culture identity, it's interesting. If I'm really honest with myself, I used to play my cards like, where are you from? And it depended on the situation. I'd throw in where I was from.
Right.
Even though now I'm quite confused, because it's like, do I say Australia? Do I say Lebanese? Do I say I'm from Dubai? Because I've been here 14 years.
Yeah.
Identity of where you're from is super confusing.
Right.
But to own it, like you said, the day I actually ate my sandwich long.
Let's do that. Let's start that tradition. Robin's long sandwich day.
I eat it
Robin's
now.
leffa.
Oh my God. But it is a thing. It is a thing. So thank you for being super honest about that, and being brave enough to actually be yourself. And I think that leads into the alphabet soup thing that you spoke about, which I found really interesting. You were being interviewed on Dubai One, and you spoke about the labels that everyone gives each other, but that we also give ourselves.
Yeah.
Is that one of the masks that you're talking about? As a layer?
Absolutely. And it's a mask I accept versus a mask that I'm going to put on willingly. And sometimes it's clown makeup. Sometimes I'm willingly going to put myself in a situation because of a certain emotion, maybe.
Yeah.
That usually is an emotion. You could be in a relationship. You could be in a work situation. It could be with your own, siblings or whatever, where you downplay yourself because of a position that was kind of psychologically assigned to you. Or you're the youngest, you're the oldest, you're a woman.
Yeah.
The woman part is, complicated and implied. It changes globally. But there's always going to be, but you're a woman.
There's something, yeah.
Right. So there's that consistent labeling. And for me, the self-labeling is maybe the most dangerous, but my favorite sport, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I'm really good at it.
Which is?
Self-labeling.
Oh, the sport.
Oh yeah. It's just,
You called it a sport.
It is a sport. I'm a great athlete when it comes to self-labeling, and it's never good, right? It's this constant self-judgment that you're going to just pack on and pack on and pack on. And a lot of us do it. But most of us fake it. You come out of, you come out to the world. There's millions of people every single day just looking in the mirror going, today I'm going to try. I'll tell you one thing. One of the biggest blessings for me out of comedy, this happened to me a couple years ago. part of that, pondering that I get to do as part of my job. I'm like, why do we judge? I came to this conclusion that judging people is absolutely the most ridiculous thing that we do as humans, because it's different if you have a longer relationship with somebody and you know them, for a long period of time. But we judge strangers
All the time.
2 p.m.
All at 2 p.m.
You know what I mean? Like their day started at 6 a.m. You have no idea what happened. Somebody cut them off in traffic. Their boss is a jerk. Their husband or wife hasn't smiled in weeks. Just like, not a morning person. You know what I mean? They could have had an entirely horrible day, and you're going to show up to a stranger at 2 p.m. and it's hot out, and you're going to judge them? That's stupid.
We all do it. I mean, naturally,
Absolutely.
we all do it.
Yeah, but why?
That's why first impressions, they say, matter.
They don't to me.
They don't.
The thing is, with the ones that we love, we give them chances, right? But with strangers, why don't we give them a chance to be loved, right? In this moment, you might be a terrible person. Our first interaction might be that just Robin, horrible.
Horrible.
Ugh, don't even, ugh.
Exit.
Right? Get out of here. I don't know what Robin's been through. Robin really tried. She took a shower in the morning. She's like, well, this is the day. I'm going to turn my life around. She tried.
Now
Then
it's 2 p.m.
8:30, that's it. I'm out. And then you're marinated by 2 p.m. So now I'm going to, come at you at 2 p.m. Don't judge anybody at 2 p.m.
Okay, that's the key. You actually used one of my favorite words, marinated. I use that all the time
It's a beautiful
when
word.
I overthink.
Yeah.
And people know if I'm overthinking. They're like, you're marinating right now. I'm like, yes, leave me alone. Let me process.
This process got to cool down for a couple hours.
A couple of days. Oh, okay. That's super interesting around the judging stuff, because you're right. We do judge a lot.
Yeah.
So now let's go back to the judging and being seen. So I want to go back into that.
Yeah.
'Cause that's very tough.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that, when people are building their personal brands, right?
Yeah.
They're making a choice. They're saying, okay, now I'm ready to be judged,
Yeah.
basically, right? But I want to go out there with an intent. I want to go out there and say, hey, I'm putting myself out there because I want to drive more business. I want to drive more money. Or maybe some people say they just want to get validation, whatever their objective is, right? But if
Right.
you want to make a successful brand, the formula is the visibility plus the money.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Ali putting himself out there when Ali started to become a business. And I
Yeah.
want to talk about the first time you monetized that name.
I'm going to disappoint you heavily.
Oh, you're not
on
going to
this.
answer me.
No, I will answer.
Okay.
It's not that I won't answer. As a brand specialist, as a personal brand specialist, you're gonna see so many red flags. I still don't like it. I still don't know how to do it, and a big part of me doesn't want to. I was maybe as an artist born in the wrong era. Today is driven by you as the personal brand. You have to put yourself out there. A mere 20 years ago, somebody else had to do it. And by God, I wish I was in those days, because one of the most ridiculous notions for me is to ask for attention. I hate telling people buy tickets. I hate telling people, hey, come look at me, because I feel, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, I don't think I'm funny, right? I just feel like we're having this exchange of energies. We're sharing our souls together, and I'm gonna be there. You should come. Right? So there isn't this sort of definition. I think if you're that type of person like me, then you have to work with the right people that can look at you. Like an argument I would have with people close to me is, no, but you're really funny. And I'm like, I mean, You know,
I find you funny.
am I though? But like to me, it isn't. How do I say it? It's one of those things. It's more mathematical, in the sense that, we're present. You're gonna say something, and I'm gonna make it funny, and we can have that interaction. I'm gonna tell you about this thing that I thought of. It's gonna be funny, but it's not that. You know that A Beautiful Mind, the movie.
Yeah.
When he sees the numbers, it kind of happens to me like that, but it only happens to me on stage. So in terms of the brand, on stage, I'm Ali El Sayed. And there's this switch that goes off. And suddenly I speak faster. I have a lot more energy. I'm so much wittier. I'm just da 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 da. And you can't get me off stage. I've gone 4 hours.
It's when you feel your best.
This is it. This is the most comfortable space on earth for me. Once I get off stage, I'm a bit awkward, shy. I speak slower. I I filler sounds, filler words all the time. But that moment on stage, that it's like Beyonce's Sasha Fierce. That moment on stage when you're that brand, that person, that thing, it kind of doesn't exist for me off stage in a way. I've never looked at myself and said, man, that's hilarious. We should share that with the earth. I know a lot of comics who can do that. I know a lot of artists are like, I'm so proud of my work.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh. We're just talking about Tima. She's like, oh, what's wrong with this one? The sound isn't good. Oh, the video is not, the joke isn't ready.
My philosophy is post and ghost. I do not look back at anything I shared, because there are people out there that love it, right?
Yeah.
There's someone, right?
There is.
I'm not
Post and
disappointed.
ghost, I love that.
Yeah, post and ghost. Out, khalas, don't ever look at it again and go to the next one. I'm not disappointed. I'm just going to reinforce that. I'm not. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I work with are coming from the more experienced generation.
Yeah.
Which are the people that are doing really good offline.
Yeah.
Fantastic in building relationships, really good at their jobs, really good in creating spaces for everyone, right? But it's getting to the online world where it's like, do I dabble in? I kind of don't want to do it. I kind of want to focus on doing the good work, but this does give me better accessibility, right? So there is a massive gap between the younger generation, which are just performing, right? They found a platform, they picked an alter ego, and they're going for it, right? Take them off the performance world, getting into the real world, they're struggling. So closing that gap is very, very common, and finding your space where you said, I don't want to do it. I feel like it's a bit salesy. A lot of people think that, but you are doing it, and you're doing it with an intent, because this is your business.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous because I come from a business background. And I can sell anything that isn't me. I'll tell you big concern I have. And it's overthinker. Marinator.
Yeah.
Big time. We're on team marinate. I feel that taking up space has to be worth it. Like, don't put something out there that is, oh, there's a trend. Let's all do the trend. I'm a see a need, fill a need kind of guy. Somebody else is doing something, let them do it. Good for them. God bless them. They found it. But I can't do it because that's already been done. Because I feel like once I take your time, and this is a bit strange, but this is how I view relationships in general, is if you're with me in this space, whether you're watching me or, we have a friendship or any other type of relationship, even if it's work, once we're together, I'm borrowing your time. What am I doing with it? Because wasting your time is horrible to me. Like, I genuinely want you to leave with something better. So a lot of times, and maybe I'm a perfectionist within my own comedy, nothing else. I suck at everything else. But when I look at my comedy and I go, ugh, could have added that line, because you're always going to think of something better.
You always watch it?
No, I get forced to watch it. I hate it. I hate watching myself. And it's a perspective thing. When I was there, right, the camera angle was different. I saw faces, I saw humans, and I'm constantly reading the temperature.
Okay.
And I see people laugh, and I notice how people laugh. If my audience isn't physically uncomfortable, then I'm not doing good. If people are just like, ha ha ha, ugh. If you're not wiping tears, if you're not staring at your friend while laughing as if to say, remember that, right? If you're not smacking each other, if you're not getting off your seat, I am dying on stage.
Has
I'm
that
doing
ever
a terrible
happened?
job. Oh, it happens all the time. And that's what I'm chasing. But then when I watch the video, it's just me. I'm like, that's not how I remember the night. That's not what it was like. There were just so many humans interacting with words and rhythm, right? Because there's a musicality to comedy. So I figured out that rhythm, that melody, and then I see them dance. I always say this, stand up is a duet between you and your audience. They'll know when to sing their part. They know the lyrics. They know the rhythm. Don't worry about it. Figure out yours. Right? Sometimes it's in a pause. Sometimes just go, I just started the show unperfect. And I had like 5 or 6 different jokes I wanted to start with. And I go up, everybody's cheering, music, all of that stuff, big stage, loving the vibes. And I stood up and I said, have you ever noticed that I just did this and then there's that anticipation? What did we notice? There's that curiosity.
Leaning in.
Right? And then I just said that Lebanese people, and it's just a big laugh. Because I'm going to pause here and I'm going to create all these things. And it's a matter of saying, I'm setting a tempo, right? Get used to it. And they were there with me, right? That rhythm. They're like, all right, what about Lebanese people? Then I said a statement. I'll tell you off the thing. I said a statement. Everybody, especially Lebanese people, disagreed with me.
You can say it.
No, I don't want to burn the joke.
Okay. Okay. For your shows.
But everybody disagreed with me, which is a beautiful place to be in as a comedian, because now you're going to justify it. Now you're like, I have a point.
You're in a conversation.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
So you're creating this. It's rhythmical. It's so musical comedy.
How do you take this life skill into your everyday?
It helped me become a better person. It helped me really understand humans. I used to see, like, in a work sense, you could see somebody as a colleague or a prospect or whatever. But now I'm fully aware, constantly aware of the possible laughter that can happen here. The humanity behind you as a person. Like this could have been a podcast. I was doing a podcast thing. I want to go to 11 a.m. You know what I mean? You could live like that. Or you could be like, Robin sounds fun. Right? And then you just go and like, what's going to happen? I don't know, but I'm willing to find out. Oh. So this is sort of what comedy has informed me, because I lived most of my life prior to just being this guy.
What were you doing before comedy?
Was I doing? I was.
Who was I?
Who was I? Honestly, not this guy. Genuinely, I was unmemorable. I was. You wouldn't notice if I was there or if I wasn't.
What was your turning point? What happened?
Just comedy provided a brand new language that I could communicate through. And I'm one of those, because I've been teaching it for 18 years. I'm one of those who's like sharing the crap out of it. I'm like, yo, so there's this treasure that won't end. I tried. Many people have tried. It just won't end. Please come. Please come and take some of it. Because there's so many people, and I've seen this a lot through our classes, genuinely with time, because, you know, when you're exhausted, you're like, what am I even doing? You know, is this even worth it? Who cares? And you see people who've been doing it over time, and I swear this is, maybe I observe too much, but even the way they walk changes, the way they talk, the way they interact, the way they date.
I believe that. I
Yeah.
think it's a skill that, like, I'm not brave enough to do it for
Oh,
sure.
of course you are.
No.
The reality is this: you already are doing it. You're just unaware of it. It's like when you're talking to somebody, and you've had a lot of friends. I don't know if you're the same, because you have a lot of charisma. You see this in a lot of people. They do all the expressions, all the faces, all the whatever, and then the second you go, okay, I want you to give me a shocked face, and then you go, oh, my face doesn't do these things, right? It's just being on the spot. We're all constantly communicating. Every person on earth has made somebody laugh. We make each other laugh all the time. What I'm trying to teach you is a dialect. It has a bit of a rhythm. It has a bit of a kick. It's gonna make you a jerk. You're gonna become. Can I swear?
Yeah.
You're gonna become an asshole.
Well, that's a very soft swear word.
That is
Entry level swear word.
calculatedly. You know, it's gonna happen, but it is gonna change your life, no doubt.
I did consider it because I know when you getting into more communication skills, right? I think that's the up and coming skill that people need to have these days.
Yeah, I've made Germans laugh, so.
Oh, have you?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
For a while, Berlin was my playground.
Was it?
Oh, I used to go and try out jokes because they have a lot of nights there, and they get like super excited. They're like, "Ali, Berlin is multiculti. Let's go. Let's make shows." I'm like, bro, you're from Birmingham. Why do you speak like that?
Is it difficult?
You're Brummie. What's that?
Was it difficult there? I saw that you said that you loved the Dubai as your playing field because it was so diverse and full of culture.
Best crowd on earth.
Yeah.
But I'll take any stage anywhere. I did a show in Berlin because they do a lot of these shows in hostels. And you can bleep up some of this out. But that night, there was just a bunch of 23-year-old Scottish kids who were high on.
Okay.
It was the entire show. Everybody there was that. And I was headlining that night. I was doing about half an hour. They were like, go. And the thing is, like, I found out about that drug that night. I'm like, what does it do? Can somebody at least tell me, like, does it take you up? Does it bring you down? Like, who am I interacting with? And it was just one of those things where I'm like, all right, I'm just going to speak with my best Glaswegian accent for as long as I can and, you know, get these kids on my side and then see where we go from there. And it was an incredible night.
It was fun.
Yeah, it taught me a lot.
Also the way that you're able to read an audience, that communication skill, right?
Yeah.
You knew who your audience was and you presented to them.
Yeah.
So that's the skill I think everyone needs to learn. That's what I was saying. I find comedy very impromptu and is it a bit of acting as well?
It's a bit of everything.
Bit of everything.
You know, if you're doing it right, it's a bit of singing, it's a bit of dancing. It's a bit of everything, you know. Sometimes you gotta do a kick, you know, with your leg because that's what your body wants to do.
With your kandura first.
Oh, I have moments where I'm like, did I physically do that? And it's the way my mind works is I say it and then I find out what I said. So it's a lot less intentional. It's like I'm chasing my mind.
Okay.
And then so I say it and I'm like, okay, so now we have to deal with the consequences of this. And that is an incredibly exciting space for me.
Because it landed. I want to go, you said chasing a few times. I want to talk about your growth. What are you chasing? Like what's next? What's next for Ali?
I will never be satisfied. No matter where.
Is that because of growth? I get it.
Yeah.
I come from like a heavy sporting background. Like it's always winning, right? It's just, how do I get better? How do I get better? But why will you never be satisfied? So what are you chasing then? Non-satisfaction?
I'm chasing the next thing. I think my constant is, so I figured this out. Now I want to figure the next thing out. So, you talk about like interaction and that kind of stuff. So I do improvise a lot on stage. And now I'm at this point where it doesn't, there's absolutely no fear or nerves attached to it. You could wake me up and say, get on stage, and I will just go up and do it. And it feels like it's not very stimulating at this point for me. So I'm like, okay, so I've unlocked this. It's like if you're playing video games. My analogy is going to be horrible because I don't play video games. But it's like you unlock a character.
Okay.
And then, you get a prompt that says, you can unlock another character now. So right now, I want to challenge myself to do something that maybe just 2 or 3 other comedians in the world are doing right now or can do. And I'm looking at it and going, I want to dabble.
What does that look like? A Netflix show?
I mean, everybody's got a Netflix show. It's not.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if.
Like, what does success look like to you?
Success looks like impact. It looks like. I don't like joining crowds. I like forming them. So success to me looks like, just inspiring people to think.
Okay.
In a sense, because I'm gonna make you laugh. Promise. That's never been the issue. But I want you to leave with something in your heart, in your mind, in your future, something. It's up to you how you interpret that. Like, have you ever gone to, this is why I think Adam Sandler movies are, there's always this wholesome feeling. No matter how silly the movie was, there's always this wholesome feeling that you leave with. Right now, go, how does he do that? There's others.
Jim Carrey did that. I think
Jim Carrey did that back in the day. And it's just, you leave with something here. It's like, it's not quite in your heart. It's just in the middle of your chest. And it kind of circles around. I kind of want people to do that. So does that look like a Netflix special somewhere? Does that look like a YouTube special with 100 million views? I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm just hoping enough people, want to sort of join me on that journey and discover it together.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, maybe. Or dumb, business-wise. What do you want? Kumbaya, everybody. Kumbaya. It's great. My kids are watching this going, thanks, Dad. You could have done something.
So then I do want to get into the money conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Because that is the hardest part for some people.
Yeah.
How do you monetize your name? And you're shying away from sales, and your bigger ambition is impact, which is amazing. I think you definitely need a drive from inside. But how do you sustain a business through your name?
I do come from a business background.
Give me a learning. What's something that someone can apply that you've taken from a business background?
Yeah.
And utilize for their own personal brand?
Figure out what you can do that you're so good at, and find out all the ways that you can get people to pay you for it. I teach that look, I give that blueprint to all my students. I'm like, all right, this is what I did. This is how I did it. Personally, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I am an Arab kid. I lived with my family. I was comfortable. I was, there was this one night I came back home. It was like 2 a.m. And my mom had left out like a whole meal for me. And I had a terrible day. I had a day of rejections. This is like, I just started doing comedy. I don't even believe in myself, right? And just a day of rejections. And I went home, and on the kitchen counter, an entire meal, 2 a.m. And I looked at it. Obviously, first of all, love my mom. That feeling just hit. Yeah. And I looked at it and I said, too comfortable. I have somewhere to sleep, and I have someone who made me very lovingly a meal. I needed to struggle. That had to be me. So then I moved out. And I said, I have to worry about rent. I have to worry about where I'm eating. Right? And I started my company during the recession. The best thing that ever happened to me was the 2008 recession, because every traditional avenue that was available to me that I was going to chase, I was basic bitch enough to go, this is what I'm doing. First of all, second of all, textbook, what anybody would do.
Yeah.
And then all the money in the world just dried up. And then you go, I have to learn so many different things. I have to be so unconventional. That made me a much better person, much better artist, much better business person. So don't shy away from adversity. Don't look at it and say, ooh, difficult. I thrive when the situation is terrible, because now it's solution time.
And I think you made everyone firstly picture your mum's dish and think, what the hell was that you rejected?
Oh, she's a cook. I ate it. I didn't reject it. I just said too comfortable.
Oh, too comfortable. But I'm still going to eat it.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, too comfortable. I got to move out.
But that's so brave that you went and you did that. Not many people are that brave enough. But to take people through that journey and then to picture you having the audacity and resilience and pushing through, I think that's going to change a lot of people that are listening in terms of how they view themselves to do better and be better. I wrap up my podcast with one question that I ask all my guests.
Yeah.
I want to know who you are beyond the label, beyond the title. So beyond Ali the comedian, beyond Ali the businessman. And when you look into the camera and let everyone know how you want them to remember you by.
I'm on the spot here. Who am I beyond? I'm unfinished. I'm a work in progress. I'm a product of the choices that I make. Sometimes they're good choices. A lot of times they're terrible choices. The only thing I know, camera. The only thing I know is that giving up is the wrong choice. So no matter where I'm at, no matter how terrible my choice, no matter how I'm not going to move today, I'll move tomorrow, but I will always move.
Oh, love it. Thank you so much. And where can people find you?
You can find me at your local strip clubs.
I knew it. I served that.
You can find me
Not in Dubai.
funerals, a lot of funerals. I do those. I feel like there's too much happiness in life that you must remember.
I will put his socials in the description below. This was amazing.
Don't follow me. I don't even post, bro.
He's going to start posting. Follow him. Subscribe to the channel. We have plenty more of this. And Ali is amazing.